Hey gang, Spacetime Badass here. So today we're going to be talking about dream journal security, as it were. So it's a somewhat common question that I'll see from beginner Onironauts from time to time who might have a little bit of anxiety about keeping their dream journal. Specifically, they'll ask things like, what are some good ways to hide my dream journal? Can I write my dream journal in code? Do I have to write a dream journal at all? Because they're afraid of someone reading it. It's actually kind of crazy the sort of ideas that they'll come up with to conceal their dream journal, and the thing that would be at the bottom of their list is to actually talk to people in their lives that they're actually keeping a dream journal. So that's something that I've noticed that's pretty interesting and something worth thinking about, I think. And since I've been lucid dreaming for so many years and I've been in a long-term relationship for that whole time, not the same one, but very long-term relationships since I've been a lucid dreamer, so I know what it's like to have a dream journal and have someone there who could read it. Now, I haven't been a lucid dreamer since I've been living with my parents, so I can't speak to that so much, but I have some good ideas for people who are worried about people reading their dream journals and perhaps that being a little embarrassing for them. So hopefully I can come up with some bits of advice to make your life a lot easier so that maybe you don't even need to conceal it. So the first thing that I really want to say on this topic is that you want to let the dream journal do its job. In order to do that, you have to keep it every day, you have to keep it correctly, and part of keeping the dream journal correctly is not to do anything with the dream journal like omit certain things that might be embarrassing for you, because the thing is, as you write in your dream journal, you gather dream signs. There could be dream signs that you're missing, and there could be a lot of other connections that you're missing with the parts of your dreams that you might be embarrassed about. Or if you write in code, you kind of make things harder for yourself, and then years later, if you want to look back at your dream journal, maybe your code has changed or something like that, and you might not even recognize what you're reading. As far as hiding your dream journal, I mean, that's an option. It's just less convenient for writing in it. You need it by the bedside table, somewhere close to actually write in at night, so that could be an issue if you're trying to hide it. And that's also an argument for not locking the journal up. The locks that are like actually on journals are really crappy anyway, but you could lock it in like a bedside cabinet if you have a lock on the drawer there, but again, that's an access problem. Right, so all these things with the dream journal, if you're trying to manipulate that experience into something kind of artificial that it's really not, and you're trying to hide things and play this double standard and expect for that to kind of help your dreams as much as possible, I think that you're going to kind of be in for a little bit of a rude awakening, because if there are parts of your dreams that you're not writing down because you're worried about it, then really that's, I think, sending the wrong message to yourself subconsciously for the practice. So I think over time that could possibly affect dream recall, or perhaps it's just that something that maybe your dream recall isn't as good as it possibly could be if you weren't omitting certain things from your dreams because you're kind of deeming them as less important. You need to look at what happens in your dreams as all very important rather than these don't matter, I think, for the dream journal to do its job as best it can. So all that aside, all of that stuff that we should probably not be doing for our dream journal, just my opinion, food for thought, something to think about, something to talk about, maybe in the comments. Get back to me if you agree or you don't. But actually, speaking on worrying about other people reading your dreams, there are a few things that I think we should think about. The first thing is dreams versus lucid dreams. So something is or isn't embarrassing, I think, depending on whether that dream was lucid. So if you have an embarrassing dream that was non-lucid, you have no control over that, right? Because the dream was not lucid. We can't choose what we dream any more than we can choose what we think. So that's something that you shouldn't really worry about writing down if it was a non-lucid dream. Now, with lucid dreams, if you do something embarrassing and you know that it was a dream, so there will be a sort of part of a lucid dream entry, unless you wake induced, it would be like you're doing things non-lucidly in the dream, and then you will say something like, I noticed I was dreaming, and then this happened. So if what comes after I noticed I was dreaming is something really embarrassing that you don't want other people to read, I think, well, really, I think that thoughts and what you do in your dreams are all fair play. There are no thoughts that are off limits, and I think there's really nothing off limits in your dreams. Now, there's a kind of a clash there, right? Because societally, and I think even something that I believe as a lucid dreamer, if the things you're doing in your lucid dreams would make someone look down upon you for doing them, or rather would make you feel embarrassed for having done them in your dreams, then maybe that's something you personally ought not be doing in your dreams if it's something that makes you feel shame, because you don't want to feed negativity in this loop that could make you become self-loathing or feel bad about it, because lucid dreaming is very a conscious experience in the mind. So I think that what you do there has an impact, and you could cause further complications psychologically for yourself. Not really like make yourself crazy, but more so like make your life a little bit less enjoyable than it could be. So maybe if there are things that you feel bad about doing in your dreams, maybe don't do them and don't cause that strife for yourself. So that's one thing. And I think probably the biggest thing to know about this, if you're really wanting to hide your dream journal and you're really worried about somebody getting a hold of that, or your parents, is to know that people are not even nearly half as interested in your dreams as you are. So if you have a dream journal and you're writing in it every single day, and it means so much to you, and it really should, and they really do mean a lot to lucid dreamers, handing that over to someone else is like they don't care. They'll flip through it for a couple of seconds. Unless they're very interested in you personally, or they're very interested in the topic, will they actually read very much of it? But like, people really don't care about your dreams as much as you think they do, and as much as that feels like it might be embarrassing, they're just dreams. And I think on some level people can understand that, which kind of brings us to another really central point that is like, let's say, tied for first in importance, is just openness. Live your life with a sense of openness. Just like you don't want to cause strife for yourself in a dream, doing things that might make you uncomfortable in waking life for having done them in your dream. Also, you don't want to be deceitful in your life with people that you love for no reason. I think on this topic, it would be wonderful to check out Sam Harris's book, Lying, and it'll lay it out completely, because some things aren't lies, but the things that we keep secret can affect us in our relationships with people. So if a dream journal is something to you that you have to hide from your friends, from your family, from your loved ones, from your significant other, then what does that say about the relationships that you're wanting to keep in your life? So what I've always done has been like, I'm a lucid dreamer. All right, here's what it is. We'll talk about it. It's usually they know by the time that they would need to know about my dream journal being there. If they're like moving in or something, or being in my bed, they know I'm a lucid dreamer by that point. So I've always just been like, this is a part of it. This is the dream journal. This goes on the bedside table. That is where I keep it. As far as whether you do or do not read it, do not give a fuck, don't care at all, but that's what it is. And that's always worked out fine. Sometimes they'll want to read it, and I let them read it, leaving nothing omitted, because dreams. And they're entertained for maybe 5 minutes if they do that, or they just don't read it at all. Maybe like the first time you tell them about it, they'll want to read it, or they'll want to look into it from time to time if they're curious. But the vast majority of the time, I think they really don't care, and I think that would probably go for parents as well. I mean, maybe not. Parents can be a little more nosier and like see what's going on in the mind of my child over here. But really, they don't care as much as you do, and that's the thing to realize. And if it makes you feel weird, just be open about it. Don't do things in your lucid dreams that make you feel uncomfortable, and don't feel uncomfortable about dreams that are non-lucid, because you can't control them. If you want to incorporate lucid dreaming into your life, that's what you really got to do to have lucid dreams and start building and working with these practices is a lifestyle, and the dream journal is part of that. And if you can just be a little more open in your interest in your lifestyle, I mean, I don't think that's not nearly as embarrassing as you might think. And you can have good conversations, and you strengthen the relationships of people around you because they know your interests more. So don't look at the dream journal as something to be hidden away. Look at it as something to be proud of. I think that should cover it for this episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and until next time, take it easy.